Yeah.
Because once again, if you're free use, just say that instead. But that's not what this feels
Chris and I have claimed to be free use on this podcast.
Welcome to Down Bad, podcast for the loverboys, crashout, cuties, and the hoes on the path on healing.
Yeah, that works.
There's nothing else?
I think it's too long, so we can always just change it up.
No, I like that.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 lines. You missed a line, but that's okay.
What was the line I missed?
We celebrate the good, the ugly, and the down bad of
That's
life.
what it
That's what
I
it is.
knew it was. Okay. All right. I got it.
You got it.
We're doing it. Welcome to Down Bad, the show that celebrates the good, the ugly, and the down bad of life. This is a podcast for the loverboys, the crashout cuties, and the hoes on the path of healing. What up, hoes? It's your boy, Chris here, and I'm joined, as always, with
Quincy Yeoman. I love how you always tee me up. It's so funny. I feel like you're like, and camera, cut to Quincy over there.
I don't know what to do.
It's very news anchor. I think I just intro and I say my name and I just stop talking. But we each have our own style, you know? Yeah, and I like that. I like that. Once again, thank you for listening to our podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe. If you're listening somewhere, hit subscribe, follow, share, like, send this to all your friends. Give us a review. We'll take reviews 3 stars and up, 3 stars and under. Send us an email directly because we don't like cowards.
No.
And yeah, thank you once again. We're so happy to be here. We're back to weekly, so you're seeing us back to back.
Yes.
And
yes, please send us submissions. We love to hear about how you are feeling down bad. What is making you feel down bad? Is it your latest crush? Is it something that's happening with the world? Is it your latest job? Is it your
bank account?
Your bank account?
Yeah.
All of these things, we would love to hear about what makes you feel down bad. So send us those submissions. We would absolutely love them. But yes, we are back in the studio. Shout out to Studio Geeky Tees for having. Wait, is it?
You're right. You're close enough. You got the intro. Shout out to Kyle in the booth doing his thing for us. That
is every single time I host a comedy show, and someone has a name that's a little tougher to say. The moment of panic I have before I have to say their name.
I always panic.
And then my mouth, I'm like, hopefully this is it.
I write it down phonetically for myself. I also realize
smart.
I have to drop, because I don't know if you have this, I have a hosting voice.
Oh,
when I intro someone's name, and it's these weird inflections that I use. So also if I don't know how to pronounce your name on top of that, sometimes the inflection can save the fact that I didn't say it exactly right.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to be better about that. I also have to ask, I want to ask more than once. And I was in a situation recently where I felt that maybe the guy was offended, but I really just wanted to get it right. And then it's also hard because you'll finish your set, and then I feel like the panic re-enters before you're about to say their name.
Yep.
And then this happened specifically because he was going first for this show I was on. And I was like, and it's like stopped, you know? But I hate saying people's names wrong, and I'm trying to be better about that. And then I will write it down in the way that I need to phonetically, say it. So
I am always, which is funny because people say my name wrong all the time, and I never feel some type of way about it, which I know there's kind of differing schools of thought about that. There's some people who are like, that's your name. That's your first representation. People should get it right.
Yeah.
But then the other half of me is like, who cares? Yeah,
I hosted for this big comedian. I'm not going to say his name. And this was up in Washington. He didn't tell me till the 3rd show that I was saying his last name slightly off.
Oh.
I couldn't hear the difference in how I was saying it versus how he was saying it.
Interesting.
So I thought it was also a different, because when he finally told me that I was saying his name wrong, I repeated it back, and then he just, when you repeat it to someone and someone just says it back to you, but I'm like, I obviously can't hear how I'm saying it back.
Right.
And then he went up and said my last name wrong for the first time that weekend. Such an asshole move. And it was very disappointing because, one, I'm like, why did you wait till the 3rd show to tell me this?
Exactly.
Because
you should have told me immediately.
You should have told me immediately, and I could have worked on that. And also, when you say your name to someone and then they say it back and they're still saying it wrong, you need to emphasize the part that they're saying wrong. I feel like that this is a white man. I will say that. I felt like it's both white, and I think that's extremely classist.
Yeah.
And it could be a difference in our accents, right? And how we speak or whatever. Yeah. So I really liked the guy. I thought he was fine in that moment, that weekend, because I was just like, wait, he told me, I think he might have told me after the third show. We did 4 shows together. This is second night. And I was like, if you're going to have a pair of balls, have a pair of balls on the night 1. And it's like, yeah, it was just so disrespectful.
Yeah, because it's like I understand maybe not saying it after the first time, because it's just like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Say it after the first time.
But no, like I agree, but like I can maybe understand, like, maybe because because I'm bad at confrontation, so I would be like, oh, I'm not gonna say anything, and then after the second time I'll be like, oh, okay. But then that's where it's like the second time is like, if it happens a second time, then it's like, hey, by the way, not trying to be like, my name's pronounced X, Y, and Z.
But I'm also like, bro, you're the headliner. I want to say your name right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and it was like a really minuscule difference in the middle, and I truly could not hear it. And he had said my name right that whole weekend, and then went up and said it wrong. So I was also like, so you were seething over this.
Right.
Like a little fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And 2, it's like, okay, you might be afraid of confrontation, but like, you're a headliner. I'm not afraid of confrontation. So, and also just tell me.
Yeah.
Like, I look bad by saying your name wrong.
Right.
We all look bad.
Right.
And I want this to be a good show for everyone, including you.
Right.
Who I'm happy to host for up until this point.
Right. Because your mispronunciation is not deliberate. His was.
Exactly. Because he had never, and then he went up and said, and I was like, but why? Also, my name is a very, last name is a very old British word. Yeoman. A yeoman is that. And so I also know that you knew how to say it, because you also had said it right before.
Right.
He had said it right before.
Right. And there was the active choice to say it wrong just to spite.
Petty liberal white men are the fucking worst. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't care how liberal you are. This shows me that you are not.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're truly. Congratulations, you gave $15 to Black Lives Matter in 2014 or whatever. But I'm like,
you posted a black square. Thank you so much.
Truly, that's where I'm like, this is like the issue, you know. And it's like, I'm obviously already the token on the show,
right?
And you're like, it just
because this was in Seattle, right?
It was in Seattle, but the other people he had on the lineup were all white men. Which he had a choice of, and you were like, you're both trying to look like a good guy, and then you go out there and you're like actively a dick to me while still trying to look like a good guy to the audience, saying my name wrong, but you're being a dick to me,
right? So,
anyways, I hope he's not making any money. I was getting really pissed about that all over again. I hadn't thought about that in a while.
I so badly want to stop the podcast so you can tell me who it is.
I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you after this.
Yeah, tell me after. Please tell me after.
Yeah, and it was just like one of those moments where I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, yeah, comedians are fucking evil.
Every single time, because like whenever a comedian homie has a podcast, I like to listen to it to support. And whenever they shit talk someone, I immediately text them and I'm like, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
And thank God most of the time, only one time was someone saying a story of someone being shitty. And I don't remember who it was, but I asked who was it, and they said it was someone who I knew and liked. And I was just like, oh, damn, that bums me out.
Yeah. People just have huge egos in this in a way that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, because people underestimate comedians. We gossip so much.
It's a really, at the end of the day, if you've been doing it a certain amount of time, that makes it smaller because you know more people.
Yes.
And I mean, every place, you know, if you're working with people, you're frequenting the same people.
In fact, I would say comedians gossip a lot, and on top of that, as much as we gossip a lot, we're still not gossiping enough.
You think so?
I think there's like more gossiping that needs to happen of like rooms that are good to work in, rooms that are not good to work in.
Well, that's not gossip. You know, gossip is good. It builds community. Yeah. Okay.
Just
who's a rapist? We need to be having this conversation.
Who's a creep? Who's just an asshole to work with? Shit like that. Where no, go ahead.
I also think it's a hard thing because someone could also be an asshole to one person, not another. Because I will say comedians are a certain level of moodiness.
Yes.
Where I'm sure there's people who've met me on some days and like bitch, right? But I'm like, oh, I just hadn't had any food. I was this, I was that. You don't know. You might not know the behind the scenes of what they're dealing with the venue, blah, 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 blah.
I've had younger comics tell me, they were like, oh, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think you liked me for like the longest time. And I was like, me? Yeah. But I admit, I was not a good old head.
When we were in Seattle?
When we were in Seattle. Because I think I was very much where with anyone new, I was like kind of like that toxic old head mentality of like, prove to me you're going to be around.
Well, I think the longer you do it, it's hard. We've seen so many people come and go.
Yeah.
We're also very burnt out on the Seattle scene.
Yeah.
At that point. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be nicer if I think you're funny.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's
universal.
Or if I think we'll vibe, because I think too, the longer that you're in this, when I first started, I don't want this to be all about comedy. We got to get into this, but I will say you're like, oh, I found my community of people. And then you develop discernment.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, we all might do the same thing, but these are separating reals from the fakes, people you genuinely want to be friends with.
Well, because most of us have made the mistake of being nice to someone at a mic, being buddy, and they go on stage and they say the most vile, terrible shit. And it's like, oh, I'm that guy's friend now. That happened to me. I was at a mic and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be nice to everyone. I want to be the new guy who's like known for being nice to everybody. And I was talking to this dude. We were chatting up. We hit it off. And he went on stage. This was at the Comedy Underground. And he goes on stage and just says just some vile, hateful shit. And then gets off stage. He's like, hey, buddy, what did you think? I'm like, oh, we are not buddies.
I never trust a man at a mic. They'll like come up, they'll try to be buddy, and then they'll be like, you know what I love about black bitches? And I'm like, okay. Yeah, but you got to learn that. You got to learn that. But the thread.
Yes.
Okay.
The thread that basically ties into what our topic will actually be. So they're all connected.
Yeah, we're getting organized. We're trying to bring y'all actually some, we've always been good. But
this one works out perfectly where it's both a thread that we want to introduce as a pre-talk, but it also ties into our main topic.
Yeah. So this was actually reposted from somebody else's account. I'm actually not going to call out the person who's posting this.
Okay.
I'll call out the person who posted the repost, but she's talking about someone else's content. I'm not going to talk about whose content this is.
Oh, okay. The originator.
Okay. So,
because they quote retweeted it.
They quote retweeted. Well, they screenshot this girl's. they screenshot another person's post, but this is from Heretic, Unbound, and her thoughts on this is the shit I was talking about the other day, patriarchy being rebranded. But the post she screenshot is a woman posting I believe it's probably a Valentine's post of her and her man. And it is controversial rules in my relationships, controversial rules in my relationship that would put most feminists in a rage. Before I want to go any further, I want to say that people have a fundamental misunderstanding about what the word feminism means, which means that feminism is about equal rights for all genders.
Yeah.
Done.
It's beneficial for everyone.
It's beneficial for everyone to be feminist.
Yeah.
So feminist is not woman first, which is still on the binary, but read a book. But nevertheless, so this is how she's using the term, obviously, feminist in a rage.
Yeah.
So here are her controversial rules. I don't walk in front of him. I let him lead physically because I trust his direction. I never deny him intimacy. I don't withhold what strengthens our connection. When he speaks, he gets my full attention. No multitasking.
That one was my favorite one.
Presence is respect and true femininity. I would say that presence is also masculinity, but egg on my face. That was just my addition. Sorry, I'm getting pissy. I want him to feel heard! ! I speak to him in a feminine tone. Femininity does not equal a weak tone. Instead, it brings softness and peace into our home. I call him Sir and my king. Making him feel honored and respected strengthens our bond.
I forgot about that one.
I don't follow men on social media, and I don't respond to DMs from men. There's no reason to entertain attention when I'm already committed. He makes the final decision. I can share my thoughts, but I chose a man I trust to lead, so I let him. And then the final one is, if he tells me to be quiet, I listen. Sometimes leadership requires correction. Listening is a strength, not a weakness, which, duh, bitch. That last part, yeah, listening is a strength. But when he tells me to be quiet, I listen. That part.
This reminds me of what one of my all-time favorite tweets.
Okay.
The creator was this black woman, and the tweet says, "No, I don't support all women. Some of you bitches are really dumb."
Yeah.
Because there's there's
so much to unpack.
There's so much to unpack. First and foremost, I like, my brain is like, I don't know where to start because they're all so wild. The first one that stands out is the Sir thing.
Really?
Sir feels so diabolical.
Sir.
To have, like, if my girlfriend called me Sir. In fact, if my girlfriend called me Sir, I would think I was in trouble.
Yeah.
Because usually when I hear Sir, it's like two things come to mind. One, you're like Mr. Moneybags and you got servants.
Yes, master. Sorry.
But most importantly, usually when I hear Sir in public, it's because someone is in trouble and the people who work there are upset.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce are behind you and their child is with them. That's also your other option of hearing Sir.
It's usually an aggressive Sir.
Sir. Yeah.
Sir.
I think Sir is, well, no, because ma'am can be used in, it's a respect. Sir feels like something you do to respect your elders.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ma'am has a little bit more potential to be like nice.
Yeah. Or like, but I would use Sir talking to like a kid.
Yeah.
Because, that's funny to be like, oh, hey, little Sir. Because that's.
Calling a child Sir is crazy.
But it's funny, right? It's like when you see a like little girl and you're like, oh, look at you, little ma'am. It's like, because they are so young, right?
I see what you're saying.
It's the playfulness of using.
It's like an oxymoron.
Yeah, it's such an older term. And when you're, anyways. Okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
But so the Sir thing is, there's all of this is, first and foremost, all of this is crazy. I understand.
You think it's crazy?
Everyone has their own preferences. I understand that. But I think there's an element of this where it's like you are willingly making yourself an item.
I feel like if you are in a dom sub relationship, just call it that. Just call it that. Like this isn't about feminists being enraged. Y'all have a agreed upon dynamic.
Yeah.
Of control and not control in your relationship.
Yeah.
This is not about feminism. This is about preference that obviously speaks to your sexual and emotional safety preferences.
Yeah.
That you cannot say, like, a few of them bother me. The speaking to him in a feminine tone.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
And the feminine tone is not a weakness. Nobody's calling this a weakness.
No.
So I think what bothers me throughout the whole post is the positioning that femininity is not as strong as masculinity. Exactly. And her having to put that condition on it tells me
they're not two things that are intertwined.
And they're not intertwined, right? That one got me. The when he tells me to be quiet one got me because I was like, and him making all the decisions. I can share my thoughts,
right?
But he makes the decisions,
right?
That's where I'm like, this is dom sub.
Yeah,
like this is beyond.
But even then, I would say in a dom sub territory, as a good dom, you check in and make sure that boundaries aren't crossed.
Yeah, I mean, I assume they had some sort of, or they both knew what they want. I think this is also I have a sense that there's probably some religious
1,000%
context behind it.
They look religious.
They do. They look like they walk straight out of church, right into the bedroom with her collar on. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
I think that they probably have freaky sex. I think they have very fulfilling sex for the man.
But she could be into that.
There's not a vibrator in that house.
Well, I mean, she might not. I mean, she might be into. She's obviously into the control aspects,
right?
Right.
She very much. That's honestly that is.
She's into the control aspect.
Yeah, she's looking at other subs like this is y'all's hobby.
This is my life.
This is my career.
Which more power to you if you want that dynamic, but also the qualification of this would put feminists in a rage.
Yeah.
Feminism is also about choice, and this is your choice.
Right.
So you should just say the way me and my man are happiest in our relationship
works for us.
Works for the end. The fact that you feel that you need to put that qualifier on it,
right,
is irritating because this is your choice and his choice, and you're both adults. We don't care.
Right.
We don't care that you talk to him in a baby voice.
Him treating you shitty does not affect my day to day.
Well, I don't even necessarily know if is that him treating her shitty because she's agreed to this. This is what they like.
That's a very good point.
That's us putting our judgment on
it.
That's
true. That is a very good point.
Dynamics. This is what they've decided.
The reason why I said that is because I think I don't like the idea of taking someone's autonomy away. But that's a very good point. I am putting my beliefs on them, and if this is something that they have agreed to,
well, her autonomy is saying, "I want this."
Oh,
that is an autonomous choice to say, I want a man who I walk behind. And which, all men are fucking walking in front because you're like, well, you don't even know where the fuck you're going, but fine, whatever. That just depends. Or, like this is that's the other part is like she believes that other women will see her as not having a choice, and that's anti-feminist of her. Because girl, you can be with the dude who's telling you all this shit, whatever. Right. But this is, and it is patriarchy. You're trying to rebrand it as. I don't even think it's patriarchy rebranded. It's her trying to. I think she's. I think her using the feminist thing then made it a conversation about patriarchy. If this is her choice, then it's not anti-feminist.
The attitude is what makes it patriarchal.
Yeah.
And not necessarily the thing itself. Because
she's centering the man.
Exactly.
In that way. Where she can just say like, but she also said things I do in my relationship. So it's like just things you do in your relationship. Who cares if other people are in a rage about it?
Right.
And that's what pisses me off about it, because it's just like, you either you do or you don't. And if you're also into this shit, you're into this shit. A lot of people are into the dom sub on varying levels, you know. And some men want to be subs. I mean, the man child, of it all, and I mean, many men who go into relationships for women to do the emotional labor for them.
I mean, in a way, a nice boy dating a mean woman is a sub.
Common. I've seen it a few times.
Out of personal experience.
Yeah, Chris calling out his own sub behavior.
Out of personal, I have been the nice boy who has dated a very, very mean lady.
But also, it's fine if you as a man want a woman to lead, but if you're making decisions in other areas, like there's no. Exactly. That's where we have too rigid of definitions of what masculinity and femininity mean, and it's like in reality, truth femininity, masculinity is allowing the person to have a choice of what that looks like for them.
Right.
And we're just not having that conversation at a nuanced level enough. But this just pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, she was rage baiting.
Yeah.
You're rage bait. You put rage and you're trying to go viral. You're trying to whatever.
Right. And there's also a little bit of like high horseness in it.
The righteousness.
Where that's the proper term. The righteousness of like, this is the right, I'm doing relationships the right way. Instead of being like, hey, this works for me. It's unconventional. But this works.
Is it I don't know if it's unconventional, but
it's unconventional by today's modern standards.
I agree.
This is run of the mill in Mad Men era, and before that,
I'd let Don Draper lead me.
But it's very much. I don't like the righteousness of it.
Yeah,
I don't like.
Yeah, I agree.
The clear implication that she believes this is how women should be.
Yeah. And that's anti-feminist.
Yes.
Right. And that's about the choice. I'm like, if this is just you and your mans, do it.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you.
I also personally don't like it because, like, yes, if it works for them and she's agreed to this and she's consenting to this, then okay, it's your life. You do what you want. But I don't like it because it, to me, feels deep down that this is the man being like, this is how you need to be. And she has unworked through shit that is like, yeah, I want to be with a man. This is what I have to do. Now, obviously, that is me projecting.
Right. I think the way it's framed, it's easy to take that leap.
Yeah.
That she was like, this guy came into her life and was like, this is how you need to be. And she was like, okay.
Right.
Because you chose me, and because you chose me, I need to do
exactly.
What? Yeah.
But
totally.
Also, I could very much see it as she's like, no, this is what I do for my man.
Yeah. I mean, based on their pictures and who they are, there is, I think within this community in particular, our community, they're black. I do think there is some really rigid heterosexual, deeply ingrained.
Yeah.
Like, this is how you need to be, and you sacrifice at the altar for a man because that's what you're told to do. Right. In our communities and people of color communities in general.
Right.
That isn't often talked about.
Right.
A lot, but there is a lot of, because of the colonization, the religion behind it, the pressure, the anti-gayness of it all. I think this is actually very common.
Yeah.
That, oh, well, a man needs to be this, this, and this. And if you're a woman, you this, this, and this. And that's it. You suck it up. You make it work. You give him your full attention. The no multitasking when he speaks also is.
That was crazy. So I have to put down what I'm doing because you want to tell me some shit that I don't give a fuck about.
Then the fact that it's like presence is respect and true femininity. How is that also not masculinity?
Right.
Because I think presence, I'm very attracted to masculinity. Any guy that I've been into or have been with or I am with, the man I am with, it's like watching his presence and dedication to the thing is that's also masculinity, right? Like, because it's also like people are saying that, what is it? If he wanted to, he would.
Yeah, I hate that so much.
I hate that so much.
I hate it so much.
It drives me crazy. But
just
also,
say you don't want to communicate. Say you're too lazy to communicate.
If you wanted to, he would. Well, I also think that if he wanted to, he would, is backing men into this corner where they might not know what they want.
Right.
And that's okay too. Or he might want to, or what if he
doesn't
has
know
anxiety?
What if he has anxiety? What if he doesn't know it's okay to do? What if he doesn't?
What if he's mentally unstable? Like men can have problems too. You know, like I think that's like, oh well, if he wanted to, he would. Well, what if there's all these other circumstances of life he can't? You know, it's like that. I fucking hate that phrase. But that aspect was about. I think the other one I think probably most people found problematic is I never deny him intimacy. I think that's the one that probably. That's the one that's probably
the immediate red flag.
I think that's the one that probably makes most people go, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once again, if you're free use, just say that instead. But that's not what this feels like.
Chris and I have claimed to be free use on this podcast. We are pro free use if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing.
I had to explain a friend who listens to the pod what free use was.
Oh God. Oh, no.
And man, nothing makes you feel like a grimier soul than having to explain free use to someone. Because it's like, okay, most adults watch porn, but that is like a subset of porn that is like...
You're like, well, someone can fuck me anytime, anywhere. If, that's just what I'm about.
And which kind of free use we talking? Are we talking about the kind where you can fuck me anytime? Or the kind where it's like, I'm going to do my task as if you're not fucking me?
Yeah, you'll get both in that category. That's a kink. That's a different level.
There's people who have fun with that. All right.
We're not going to name any names.
We're not going to name any names.
But like, I never deny him intimacy. I don't withhold what strengthens our connection. I think that to me is like, but what if you...
That's why I feel like she's giving up autonomy.
Yeah, I think the wording of it all is tough to not see it that way. But I feel like that's the one that really raises the red flag because you're thinking never, or even if you don't want to.
Right.
Because the I never deny means, well, it doesn't matter the state I'm in.
Yeah.
It feels like a lack of boundaries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a complete disregard of boundaries, and it's a complete disregard of just consideration, like you said, of the state of your partner is in. Because there's going to be times, everyone is going to have times where they're like, I am not in the mood. I can't, for whatever reason, emotionally, mentally, sexually,
physically. What if she's sick?
Yeah, sick. Like, I'm not in the mood, and you just have to give it up because your man wants it, is absolutely insane. The other insane thing is, I meant to bring this up earlier, is the not following any men on social media.
Not following any men on social media. Like, you don't even follow Rob Roush? Traders winner? Girl, you're wrong for that. I shouldn't. I love Rob. Robbie Bobby. But no, man, following men is different than answering your DMs.
Yes, the DMs thing, that was probably the most normal thing. That was like, oh, I let him open the door for me.
But also, I'm like, girl, you're getting more DMs from men if you're putting this out there. If you're like, oh, I never deny intimacy, you can make every choice. That's why your DMs are flooded, girl.
Right.
You should just put your boyfriend forward and be good. But not following any. It's like, you don't have any musicians or actors or athletes that you're fans of. That part is.
No meme accounts.
No meme accounts. Fuck Jerry, which, they're corrupt, but that's a
like
man.
Nothing.
Right? Nothing. Yeah.
That to me, it's just such a, it's honestly, it's almost impossible for my brain to not see this as over controlling.
Yeah.
That I get the argument of they have a dom sub thing and it works for them, but it's just, there's so much of it where my brain can't not see this as the man is like, this is what you're going to do. This is this and that. And it's almost impossible for me to not see it as that.
Well, yeah, because I think when she uses language, like when he tells me to be quiet or whatever it was, right? Because she says, tells me. So it does seem that it feels influenced.
Right.
But, it's hard to tell online. That's the other thing. Let's see. I don't follow. He makes the final decision. If he tells me to be quiet, that was the word she used. Damn. So that feels like, okay, so is he? Yeah. I don't know. Blink twice if you're okay, girl.
Oh, wait, sorry. Sir, is it okay if your girl blinks twice to let us know? That's like, I love that comeback of like, there was like a tweet that was like, if I wanted to hear a conservative woman's opinion, I'll ask her husband or pastor. And then there was like a bunch of conservative women be like, you claim to be a feminist, but this is actually really sexist. I still get to have an opinion and all that. And it's like, well,
yeah. It's sexist, but also you could you could also be like, yeah, you can't ask my pastor or my man because that's how I've chosen to live my life.
Also, sometimes you got to fight fire with fire.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I definitely can understand how seeing this is like, you're thinking, okay, this is control. I want to believe, they both agree to this relationship. I'm not trying to have, there's obviously judgment I have of it. And that judgment is, okay, you're in a very specific way of doing a relationship, which is totally okay. But all the qualifiers is just what pisses me off.
The qualifiers, the tone that it's presented.
Just own your choices.
And the feeling, you could just tell that they're like, we're superior than everyone. Yeah. Where it's just like, no, y'all are weird. You can be weird. Just don't think your weirdness makes you better than all of us.
Yeah. It's just, as if this is the fact that you feel like it's a better way to do things.
Yes.
It's the best way for you to, that doesn't make it better for
everyone else.
For everyone else. Exactly. And that's what's wrong with the internet. And that's what's wrong with parasocial relationships. And that is what's wrong with what we're consuming. The whole bean soup shit, all that. This is what's wrong. Because it's like, we're all allowed. And there's so much more nuance that can't be conveyed on screen. But this was, the intro we did, this thread was relevant because we wanted to talk today about the TradWife, high value male dynamic, this resurgence of conservatism.
Conservatism.
There we go. Yeah.
I think.
Whatever. The rise of this.
You get what we're saying.
Yeah. We can't read. We're just spouting out opinions. But yeah, this new rise of this coming back.
Yeah.
As a
traditionalism
part of culture,
is making a rise again.
Yeah, and I don't even know if this is as much becoming dominant. Well, it might in some ways because of the political time, at least in the US. I won't speak for everybody, although everybody's been affected, but people love to just put it on us. Which we're terrible right now. But I will say with the rise of fascism comes the rise of more conservative thought. And also this has been starting to seep in even before bombs were dropping. But I do believe, this is coming up.
Yeah.
Right? The TradWife, the high value male, which is mostly associated with the idea of this man being dominant.
Right.
Making all the money, making all the decisions. And
that if a man checks these boxes of I have money, I go to the gym, I deserve
a woman who will be submissive to the life and lifestyle I want. Yeah. While the TradWife is about being,
willingly submissive.
In
a way that kind of forgoes your autonomy.
In a way, yeah. And if you want that life, I think that's fine. I think that's totally okay if you...
I also don't want to work.
That's sweet. So if anybody wants to make Chris a TradWife, do it. But this is all coming back to, I think, the binary we live in, that masculinity means this, femininity means this, and if it's outside of that, then... because it's like, I was reading a post about a guy who is a stay-at-home dad, and I know I have several male friends who would love to be stay-at-home dads, but then people not valuing that labor or feeling, people don't value stay-at-home mom either, but how much that takes away for how someone sees a man, right? Or if a man's not making a certain amount of money. Like, I have friends who are guys right now, they're looking for jobs and they won't date because they're like, well, I can't date because I can't afford to take anybody out on a date.
That was literally me when I was unemployed.
Yeah.
I was talking to like a friend who's a woman, and I was just like, I just feel really alone, and there's nothing I can do. And she was just like, oh, like when I was unemployed, I was going on dates. Like, you should go on dates. I'm like, I straight up was like, I'm a man, I can't.
Right.
And she was like, that doesn't mean anything. I'm like, no, it does. Like, ask how many of your friends would they date an unemployed man, and see how many would say yes. And she was just like, well, I've dated men. It was like, yeah, but like,
maybe you're already together and then he lost his job, but it's very rare. See, and that's how both sides are perpetuating sexism.
Exactly.
And then the TradWife of it all now. I think it's funny because people always think of Nara Smith light skinned girl on TikTok who makes everything from scratch, and they're like, oh, this TradWife. She's making a lot of money. She's a model. Mm-hmm. She's making a ton of money off of her content.
Oh, is she with the white man? And they she prevents foods and they're they make 5 seconds away from fucking in every TikTok.
I think they're pretty cute together. She might be pushing the Mormon agenda, but she's not a TradWife. People are saying, oh, this is TradWife life. She's cooking in Gucci that she probably bought herself. They're both rich model, and she's making so much money off. She's like, I don't even know. I'm not on TikTok anymore, but I'm sure she's up to probably over 10 million followers, right? And she was already doing that. She works and she can afford this life. What we aren't seeing on camera is probably the nannies that are behind screen. Right. She obviously needs time. If she's making cough drops from scratch, there's a lot of time we're not seeing. Right. But I think just, and the TradWife and the women should just, if you actually want a man, you need to be submissive and walk behind him, take the lead, Right. But this rise again, I mean, how are you feeling about that? I feel like, and how do you feel like that push pressure on you as a man and relationships?
I think so to be perfectly honest, I think in my personal experience with when I was single and dating around, I feel like there has always been a traditional expectation of men, even from very hyper liberal women.
Oh yeah.
The expectations to still pay, the expectations to plan everything.
Oh really? Okay.
I mean, now from what I hear, apparently it's much more common that men aren't planning the dates.
Women plan, men pay. Yeah.
Right. But definitely the pay thing for sure.
Yeah, totally.
And as well as, which the whole pay thing in itself is an annoying conversation. I would say whoever does the asking out should pay.
Oh, I love that.
Because it's hey, I am asking you, instead of you doing what you want to do, spend the night getting to know me. The least I could do is pay.
Or you can be let's split until we decide to date.
Right.
Yeah.
I think honestly normalizing splitting, so then that way it feels less because the amount of, in fact, when I moved to Seattle, the amount of women who were no, we're splitting because they didn't want me to pay, and then I feel like I'm entitled to anything, which is understandable.
Yeah. Seattle's it's a different community.
But then when I moved, I very little dated here before meeting my girlfriend. But that was something where leaving Seattle, I was like, oh shit, is that maybe just a regional thing and not how it is everywhere?
I do think Seattle's different in that way, but I think that's one of the liberal things about Seattle that I do like is there's a little bit more awareness around stuff. That in particular, the splitting or, but Seattle's known for a really vibrant kink culture and sexual freedom in a different way than I think people realize and know.
Right.
So that changes the dynamic of even dates and what you're doing in Seattle. So I agree to that.
But I think overall, because of stuff like that, there's an element of even where I felt where it's really liberal women I've seen be oh, if a man's not paying, then X, Y, and Z. And it's living in a tech city where I would be taking out women who were working at tech companies who are making more money than me, but I was still expected to pay for things when I'm making ad agency money, which is very little. Yeah. So it's something where I always kind of thought the talk around how do I word this? I obviously believe in feminism, but I always felt there was still traditional expectations when it came to dating. There was still the traditional expectation of you're going to be taller than me. You're going to pay for things. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not feminism.
Right.
At the end of the day, yeah.
And so I think the rise of TradWife.
High value.
And high value. I think with the rise of so I'll start with the high value male stuff. That doesn't surprise me because I think men want to instead of look inward and improve themselves, think, oh, well, I deserve things because I check all these superficial boxes, which is like, do you actually?
Well, I mean, I think that's the unfortunate conditioning of men too.
Yeah.
Men have been taught to only value themselves based on the amount of money they have, which has led to a lack of emotional intelligence and the ability to look inward. And I think that's sad. I think that's how we're failing men. Right. To say like, you have to be this, this, and this. And it's all external things where you're not like, okay, well, a real man owns his emotions. A real man is honest about what, but,
Because it is that vicious cycle.
It is.
Where it is like men are told you have to have money and your values attached to how much money you have. And like we as a society are trying to be like, no, like you need to have emotional intelligence and stuff like that. But then if you're a man and you don't have, like you're unemployed, you're going to be seen as less valuable. And the emotional intelligence that you have doesn't even there's no chance to like get to know that because there's this paywall that you can't reach. So it's like one of those where I think a lot of the high value male stuff is stuff like it doesn't surprise me that it's surging because I think there's a lot of men who we aren't, like you said, we're like, I don't want to say that we're failing men, but more of like
we are though.
Well, we are, but more so where it's like we are. I don't even know how to word it. It's very much where it doesn't surprise me.
Okay,
because I think it's ultimately at the end of the day, there's a lot of men who just want to feel value, but then unfortunately are turning to these men like Andrew Tate's, who they see to like, oh, he has money, he has girls around him, he has cars, he has a house. Like, that's what I need to be because we've been told as men, that's what you should strive for.
Right. Versus looking inward and saying, what makes me feel valued?
Exactly. What makes me happy?
What makes me happy?
What makes me feel like life is worth living? Because like how many times have people had the money, the cars, the girls, and then we found out all of that shit is fake?
Yeah.
Like there's a classic example of this guy, Dan Blizarin, who he was like, became famous for like being really good at gambling. Like he was a poker player or something like that. And his Instagram is always him on boats and other places with all these like models.
Yeah.
And then you think, man, this guy's just like, as a young college kid, I was like, man, this guy's just living the best life. And then the older I got and the more I realized he was like, I learned he was paying these women to like spend time with him. And it's just like, oh, this guy's like, I was going to say a loser. Like, I don't want to demean getting paid to hang out with people. The women are not losers. The man, you know what? He's paying for a service. But it's very much where it wasn't like, oh, this guy's like the king. It was just
you should own it. Like, wow, look at how much money I have that I can pay.
That's the flex.
A ton of hoes to hang out with me. Like, that's cool. Like, just be like, yeah, I have enough money to pay each of these bitches $10K to come hang out on my yacht. Okay,
you pay for your friends. I got money to pay for friends.
Look, I'll be your friend. Who? Yeah.
Where you want me to stand?
Yeah, truly, I'll stand in the back. I'll hide. I don't give a shit.
You want me to wear a bikini or can I just wear what I got on?
Yeah, I think we're failing everyone.
Everyone's being failed, and that's why this stuff is resurging because we're failing each other and we're not having honest conversations with each other and not allowing people like we're forcing people to fit these like boxes and. People, because like I feel like there was a like on the TradWife side, I feel like there was an expectation of women being like traditional submissive, and then there was kind of a surgence of like, no, we're not. We're going to be independent. We're going to not need a man, and then now it's kind of come back to it where it's like I genuinely wonder, is that because there was this pressure to be, I don't need anybody, where then it's like going like this overcorrection of like, well, now I want to be submissive because I don't want the pressure of having to be on my own. When instead it should be this healthy medium of like finding someone who you can find refuge in.
Whatever that looks like for you.
Whatever that looks like for you, while also maintaining independence, whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah. I also think if you want a soft life on either side, a man or a woman wants a soft life where they don't have to make a lot of decisions and be taken care of, and whatever that looks like for you emotionally, financially, physically, whatever, then just own that.
Yeah. Because what do you think about the surgence of both?
I think it's coming back more online than it probably is in real life. I think this is one of those things. I think that's very true. Where we're seeing more of it than is probably happening in the day to day. I think it does perpetuate sexism. I think it's hard to see. I have friends who make women friends who make insane amounts of money who still want men to make more than that. And I think, well, you want a man to make $300K a year?
Right.
But you're not willing to invest in someone also getting there. Because I also think the reality is someone might have, and we've seen this time and again, someone might have a lot of money or have something, and then to be in a committed relationship with someone, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, people have their accountants still out of their money. People have, there's just so many situations in life that can't be predicted that I think putting a bunch of external hetero traditional superficial expectations on a relationship does not allow for the actual nuance, critical thinking, and patience that a relationship requires. Yeah. And so to me, I believe we're seeing this as pushback to make everybody feel bad because women are making more than they ever have. And opting out of relationships, and men, and also men are lonelier than they have ever been, and then trying to figure out how to manage or be in relationships, and own their emotional life and have awareness. And by pushing forward these narratives, you're stopping people's growth at the end of the day. Yeah. So, I just find it really troubling because nobody is a monolith and your needs can be different. And I think we're just finding new ways for people to feel bad about the things that they want. And I think this is one of those ways. I also think that taking away the choice of women in particular is a terrible and also scary effect on society, and it is a way to keep people controlled. Yeah. I think all of this is about keeping people controlled. Yeah. And I think it's honestly just really disappointing. Yeah.
That's a very good, sorry to cut you off. No, go. I was just going to say that's a very good way of wording it where it's a form of control, because the trad wife is an obvious form of control. Like, it's easy to see how that is control of like you are being submissive. The high value male is control as well, because it's controlling men by making them think they have to act a certain way instead of searching for, they're like, oh, I improve myself by gym, getting buff, and money, instead of being like, how can I improve myself in a way that it benefits me mentally and emotionally? Right. And like, yes, physical health is important because it attaches to mental and emotional health. But like a lot of the high value male content is like, you need to get buff, instead of like perfect example, fitness for me, I've always had a very complicated relationship with. And for the longest time, I went to the gym because I thought there was something wrong with my body. And then now, but I was never consistent. Whereas like now I've been the most consistent I am with going to the gym because I see it as, oh, this is a mental health thing. When I work out, I mentally feel better. I feel that. And ever since I've switched that gear, fitness and going to the gym has been a much healthier thing for me. And I think for a lot of the high value stuff, it's like, it's always like, oh, she hurt, like she denied you, go, I'll see you in the gym, brother, kind of thing, where it's just like, or maybe you should exercise because that is genuinely healthy for you and it benefits you mentally and it benefits you emotionally, and you should improve yourself so then that way you feel better. And you're less likely to have anxiety and depression and stuff like that. And like, yes, that's not going to cure it, but like look to improve yourself, not because you are trying to get a mate, but because it's just nice to improve yourself and find an area of security that comes from within without external stimuli. Like something I had to unpack in therapy and work through was like, as a man, not seeing my value be attached to, do I have a woman in my life? And rather, do I have value because I see value in myself,
right? And
I'm bringing that value out. And like, that's what bums me out so much about the high value men content is it's men thinking to find self-worth, they have to find that value externally rather than looking internally.
Well, it's both externally and it's based on the opinions of other men.
Exactly.
I also think the money thing is crazy. I mean, we're perpetuating the cycle of all of us staying poor by being like, I just have to make money, money, money. You need to ask yourself, how much money do I need to make to be comfortable and happy with my life?
Exactly.
The end, point blank, period. Because if we're just saying, oh, we're chasing this unknown dollar sign, that is going to keep you in the cycle.
Yeah.
I think as far as looks, I mean, we're seeing thin come back in for, and all of this. At the end of the day, yeah, it's like, where am I comfortable in my body? All of these things, this is why it's control, because it is telling you that someone else has the answer for your happiness. When in reality, you have to ask yourself, okay, I like going to the gym for X, Y, or Z.
Right.
I like, I want this. Even if you want the result to be a different look or to change your body composition, who are you trying to catch up with?
Right.
Or like, this is my goal and I want to do this because I want to feel confident.
Right.
Or whatever it is. So it's hard to watch as well because it's like, men are like, oh yeah, I'm going to do all this. This is what it is to be a high value male. I want other men to be jealous of me. You're gay. And that's okay. Like, okay, fine. Like, you want to look, but
I mean, yeah, because you're caring more about what men think of you.
Yes, or what other, it's like, okay, it's like, yeah, and real confidence and real aura is internal.
Right.
And there's no amount of working out, there's no amount of money, there's no amount of submission, there's no amount of whatever, unless you are defining things for yourself. Right. And people aren't thinking critically anymore. They're going online to find out how they're supposed to feel about themselves. Right. They're doing whatever else. And it's like, turn the TV off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, not to quote Kendrick Lamar, but literally, like, just stop. That's so fucking annoying.
That's so true. It is so gay to be so focused on what will other men think of me, because that's what's so much of not true masculinity, but what society defines as masculinity.
Well, it's just surface level masculinity.
Yeah.
It's not masculinity at all. It's yeah, I don't think that is. I think we even need to separate it because I don't think that's masculinity at all.
Right. I'm saying what society has defined as like, it's so much of trying to impress your boys.
Like, I saw this video. We are almost at time, but I want to say I saw the video of this guy who was like, oh, I can't date a woman who other men don't find attractive. Why?
Yeah.
If that's your girl, that's your girl. You know what's hotter is if you own the fact that you like this girl.
Right.
Like,
you're into weak. Them. That's all that should matter. You're not, your boys aren't dating them.
Or unless you want them to be, like, then you're in a whole other territory.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. I also think we've let all of these things be defined outwardly for so long. Whatever it is, masculinity, femininity, everything in between, it's just like, find out who the fuck you are.
Right.
Decide for yourself.
Right.
And then go from that point, and that's going to be more attractive and get you so much further in life, because at the end of the day, when we all die, are you going to be like, wow, I'm so glad my homeboy thought my girlfriend was hot. I'm so glad that guy complimented me on my Rolex. I'm so glad that other woman saw how good of a TradWife I was and was jealous.
Right.
I'm so, like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're dumb as hell if you're thinking in that way.
Right.
So
it is
unplug for your Yeah.
Unplug and realize that TradWife content and high value male content is just a form of controlling us so we stay unhappy. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, just do what services you. And like if what services you is being submissive, like TradWife, then okay, as long as it's truly servicing you. And if you're a man, like straight up from me to you, like you're not going to find self-worth from the high value male content, because those influencers are taking full advantage of you.
Literally, they're making money from you.
They're making money from you. They are all preying on you. They're all preying on you.
Everybody's preying on all of us.
Yes, we're being preyed on all the time.
but also, it's like, be honest with you. If having a certain amount of money is going to make you think you want this amount to feel comfortable,
right?
Own that. You know what I mean?
But you're only gonna find that worth from within. You're only going to get the worth that weighs the most is self-worth. And you're not going to find that by impressing other men. You're only going to find that from growing yourself in a way that, like, find a hobby, like go exercise, let yourself be you.
Be free.
Stop. Like, I've became such a happier person developing my own hobbies instead of caring about appearing cool or whatever.
Me and my brother say this thing to each other where you have to simp for yourself.
Yeah.
Simp for yourself first and foremost. And then,
Yeah.
Yeah. But, Chris, I'm curious. What is one thing you refuse to be down bad about this week?
I'm not going to be down bad about the variance in the quality of output.
Okay.
And by that, I mean understanding that you're going to have some weeks where you feel like you are in the pocket and you're fucking crushing it. And then some weeks where you're going to feel like I am not good at this thing. And that is not indicative of the quality of you are as a person. Or just like the quality of what you are at what you do, but rather just in life, it's natural to have ebbs and flows. And if you're in a down period, you will get back to an up period. And like, if you're in an up period, just enjoy it. Don't worry about a down period. That's what I'm going to refuse to be down bad about.
Amazing. Yeah. For me this week, it'll be hard, but I believe the state of the world on the macro level.
Yeah.
The state of the world on the macro level.
That's an evergreen thing.
Yeah, that's evergreen. I am going to try to focus on the things that I can control, because it's easy to be consumed with a sense of doom. And wonder what we're all doing this for. But I refuse to let this moment steal my joy and my ambition and my effort and my shine. So yeah, I
love that.
Yeah, Chris, if people like what you say, where they and whatever you do, what do you always say? Like what you say.
If people like the things you say and the way you say it.
Oh yeah. Where can they find you? Yeah, there we go.
You can follow me at Chris Mejia Comedy on Instagram and TikTok, at Topher Mejia on Twitter and Twitch. Quincy, where can people follow you?
You can follow me at Quincy Yeoman on the platforms I'm on. Remember, you can follow our show. Everything is in the show notes. Follow us. You can leave us a voicemail. You can submit through a Google form. Anyway, in every way, we'd love to hear from you. We do submission episodes. So and remember to like, share, all of the things. Thank you for listening to another episode. We're so happy you're here. And until next time, stay up.
Stay curious.